Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hey, welcome back to our channel, Our Philippine Journey. Actually, that's the wrong way. Let's do it like that. Hey, Mike and Arlen. Arlen is still in the province. She'll be back Saturday. Her father's doing much better now. Well, long story. It is currently 6:15 a.m. here in Angeles City, Philippines. I'm outraged. I'm incensed. I am furious. I am baffled. But it's not about the Philippines. Generally we cover our life here in the Philippines. But this morning's news just blew me away. This morning, I read the news, as I do every day. I read the news from 6 different news organizations, both internationally and domestically, and I'm just flabbergasted. This morning's news, and I'll put a link below. This morning's news had an article that came from Fox News, but Chicago Democrat sounds alarm as 55 schools report on no proficiency in math or reading. Very serious. Okay, you know, um, it looks bad. It's probably worse. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. It looks bad, and it's going to be worse than it even looks in the headlines. 55 schools, 55 public schools in Chicago have no students, not a low percentage, not a small amount, but no students, zero students that can read or perform math at grade level. Now that's pretty significant, and we can look at why. Well, I mean, we can assume or try and draw our own conclusions as to why. But you know what? This might be why there's so many stupid people showing up everywhere else in the world, because they're leaving America because they're stupid. All right? This is a serious issue. How can you pour 10 billion US dollars into the public school system and end up with 10 almost 10% of the school system's population that cannot read or perform math at grade level? I'm talking about schools that have entire school population. Every student in that school cannot read or perform math at grade level. You know what? If I lived in America, I would be furious. If I lived in Chicago, I would be absolutely bullshit. And you know what? I don't even live in America, and I'm still furious. My daughter's a college graduate from a good college, and she begins her graduate studies next semester. That being said, I don't think that I was a special, or her mother, who was a great mom, horrible wife, but great mom. All right. We're any more special than anybody else, but apparently we got lucky. Or my daughter's just naturally bright. I had to work at it myself. But That's just the way it is. Hang on a minute. I can't go into why the performance levels are that bad. I could say it's bad parenting. I could say that parents don't take an active role in their children's education. I could say it's bad teachers. Teachers are just too lazy. I could say it's a bad system. I could say the system rewards mediocrity and doesn't enforce performance. But I don't know. What I do know is that we are raising in the United States, it is apparent that we're raising a generation of illiterate and mindless people. Actually, mindless is probably the wrong word. You know, there's a lot of feeling of self entitlement. And because maybe it's the kids that feel that they're entitled, I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know this. I know that that is dismal. I know that that is pathetic. And I know that if anybody is going to continue to build an economy and a country based on anything other than manual labor, well, they're not going to do it with those kind of scores. What was even more interesting was the statistical percentages, because I looked up the actual uh, full study that came out. That study and the article indicated only those schools that represented zero, no student, not one student in that school performed at grade level. It came out to like 8.7% of the total number of students enrolled in the public school system in Chicago. The study then turned around and said if you took the number of schools that only had one student that performed at grade level and included those schools, the percentage then went up to 18%. I wonder what would happen if you took the total number of students and figured out what would happen or what would that percentage be if only 10% of the students enrolled in that school actually performed. I bet it would be horrifying. And I bet it would start to encompass tens of thousands of students. Where are these kids going to go? What are they going to do? How are they going to earn a living? Are we going to have to turn the United States? Is it going to have to turn into an absolute horrifying situation of a social network safety net for those people that just can't earn a living? If you're going to be a coal miner, and I have nothing against coal miners, okay, but that's dangerous, hard work. You can earn a living. If you're going to be a roofer, as long as the economy grows and there are houses out there to put roofs on, you can earn a decent living. But apparently, if you're going to be a scientist, oh, I forgot, you can't read. You can't do math. How are you going to be a scientist? What are you going to do? It's amazing. It's absolutely horrifying. You people, and me included, okay, pay taxes. You know, I am a citizen of the United States. I have finances in the United States. I pay taxes. Of the $10 billion that went into the public school system in Chicago, $8 billion of it is federal funding, federal money given to the state for public school systems. That's my tax dollars. That's your tax dollars. Those kids are going to be the ones that are going to be taking care of you when you get old. How would you like to have it where your cardiologist or your oncologist or even your family medicine doctor can't read? Hardly. I imagine that their scores would have to be better. But then that brings up another interesting scenario. How about the number of foreign nurses that are required to keep the healthcare system going in the United States, of which the Philippines is one of the major, if not the major supplier? And what about foreign doctors? If you live in a large metropolitan city, your exposure to the healthcare system with foreign medical graduates, FMGs, all right, is huge. And it's a lucrative market. And Americans aren't getting there. So let me get this down in my mind. You can come to the United States. We're going to feed you, support you, give you health care, and your children, along with our children, are not going to perform. And we're going to rely on countries outside of the U.S. to supply the brain pool to keep our country going. That's where we should be spending a ton of money. We should be electing officials that have something to do with it. I mean, you know what? You can have a dumbass like Lori Lightfoot, okay, who is a worthless person as far as I'm concerned. What she's done to Chicago is horrible. And I've spent a lot of time in Chicago. For 20 plus years, I went to Chicago on the Saturday following Thanksgiving for a week-long medical conference every year. I didn't skip it once for over 20 years. All right? Chicago is used to be a wonderful city. Now, I admit I've not been there in, I guess, 12 years. All right? Maybe 15. I don't know. Maybe not 15, but at least 12 since I've been there. Okay? And it's not a cheap city to visit, and I am pretty sure it's not a cheap city to live in. Their tax revenues must be incredible. Where's this going? And I'm going to say something that people aren't going to like, and you're just going to have to deal with it. I blame teachers as well. I blame the system for putting the teachers in the positions that they're in that makes them pass students. And then I blame the teachers for not fixing that system, for not making it better. And I know it's difficult. I know you can't buck the system. I know that the teachers' unions or whatever, I shouldn't single out the unions because I don't know. But I do know that there are many limiting factors. I have a friend, my best friend, okay? His daughter is a graduate level chemist. And she teaches chemistry in the public school system in North Carolina. And her biggest problem is her students, don't perform at level. Now, her situation is a little bit different. She only teaches AP classes. So she gets students that actually try to excel. So it's not as bad. But in the general classes, she said she couldn't take it. And that's why she switched years ago into teaching just AP classes. We've got to do something, people. And you know something? I think now that's fully indicative of the fact that what the Philippines should do. The Philippines should give people that come here, foreigners that come here, they should give them a goddamn test. Oh, this is what you should be able to do when you get here. Can you convert money? Can you understand and read in your own language? Are you smart enough to actually come to the Philippines? Are you able to take care of yourself? Or are you just running from the system? I don't know. And I know that the Philippines would never do it, but it would be fun, wouldn't it? If you had to have a test to get a visa, that would be interesting. Hey, look, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow. It helps us a lot. If you found this informative or if you have thoughts about it, please comment. Comment and let me know. What are your experiences with the public school system in the U.S.? How do you see the system? What do you do as a concerned parent? Okay? Let's hear about it. Let's hear what people have to say. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.